You also worked for the Memphis territory for a little bit.
Yeah, what do you want to hear about those idiots?
Your thoughts on Jerry Jarrett and Eddie Marlin?
I guess if you can't run the territory, marry your daughter into it. I don't know. No, Jerry Jarrett was a good worker, but he was a small man. They tag teamed him with people that they shouldn't have.
You talking about Jeff Jarrett or Jerry?
Jerry.
Okay.
You want to know about Jeff?
Well, no, you go ahead about Jerry.
I love Jeff to death. I like his dad. I really do. The thing was, the territory at the time, you had Nick Goulas in it, you had Roy Welch, and you had, one of the Welches, I don't remember which one it was, one of the Welches, and there was, and Christine, and there was a big going on when I was there. And it was all who was doing who and who was what and everything else. And I didn't care. All I wanted to do was work. And that's where I got my first pretty good break with Clemens as my manager and Charlie Fulton as my partner. And really liked the Tennessee territory when I was there because I'd never made that kind of money in my life. You know, this is my first big money. So I didn't know I was getting screwed, you know.
Right.
I was kind of happy about it, to tell you the truth. And then the whole thing, everybody kept coming in the dressing room all the time saying, well, Jerry Lawler is the best bump man in the business. Jerry Lawler is the best bump man. Well, Jerry Lawler can't take a backdrop off my butt. Believe me, Jerry Lawler can't bump. You want to see somebody bump? Get a tape of me back in the 70s and 80s. I could bump. And I was a big guy bumping. I wasn't a midget Lawler. And I didn't mess with little girls. Anyhow, to make a long story short, Lawler and I got in a fight in the dressing room one night because he kept calling the lady that I was dating at the time a bad name. And I told him 3 times to quit it. And he wouldn't. So I punched him. And when I punched him, Sam Bass and all the stooges in the office jumped on my back. Well, I went out in my car and got a 45 and come back in. Well, there was nobody in the dressing room then. Huh. But Nick Goulas suggested that I leave the territory the next. Yeah, I said, yeah, no problem. I can leave. So.
All right, we're back. We're talking about the Memphis territory and your memories of Jeff Jarrett, a young Jeff Jarrett.
Young Jeff Jarrett, man, I'll tell you what, he was such a class act. As I remember him when he was a kid. He was such a good kid. And then when he got into business, he was just, I mean, he could work, he looked good, he did the right things, and he learned the business the right way, you know, which people don't do that anymore. And so I have nothing but compliments for Jeff Jarrett. Nothing but compliments for Jeff. And I think, Jeff, you're a hell of a worker.
What about Bill Dundee? Memories of
Oh, Jesus. The midget? Oh, yeah, a lot of memories of him. One night they told me to do a job for him. I says, Jesus Christ, I said, laying on my back, I'm still taller than he is. Yeah.
Did you see a lot of the politics between Lawler and
Dundee?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There wasn't politics. It was all kiss ass. And you kiss me and I'll kiss you, Sid. You know. None of them had any balls. They would have had to set up for themselves.
Right.
That's true. You know.
You got to work a little bit of a program with Jerry Lawler, obviously.
It was a little, yeah. It was a pretty long program.
Did you like working with Jerry in the ring, or?
He could work. Wasn't my favorite person, but he could work.
What about Eddie Gilbert, a young Eddie Gilbert?
Young Eddie Gilbert was a working little fool. He was I would put him, Tommy, his dad, had made him like Mike Graham and Jeff Jarrett. I mean, they had made him learn the business, the psychology, the learning, everything else.
What about, as far as the Memphis territory goes, what was the schedule like there?
Jesus, you're going to make me think back now. I told you I'm almost getting almost timers.
And Saturday was TV, Saturday night.
Yeah, Saturday was TV. Saturday night was Jonesboro. Sunday was some spot show somewhere. Monday was Memphis.
Mid-South Coliseum.
Tuesday was Nashville. Wednesday was, I think it was Birmingham. No, it wasn't Birmingham. It was Tupelo. No, it wasn't Tupelo either. It was, Bowling Green, Kentucky. Thursday was Jackson, Mississippi, or Jackson, Tennessee. Friday was Tupelo, Mississippi. And then Saturday you start all over again.
Anything else stand out from the Memphis territory that you want to talk about? Or
Oh, yeah, when Tojo Yamamoto got his arm broke.
how did that happen?
Oh, that was wild, man. Two little Japanese guys come in and they say, tonight, Bobby, you and your partner no go to the ring. We were supposed to wrestle Jarrett and Tojo in Jonesboro. And so Clemens was our manager. And we're going to the ring, man. We're in a championship match. We're going to the ring. And they said, no, you don't go to the ring. We have problem with Tojo. We settle problem. I said, so I told Steve, what we're going to do. Steve said, we're going to sit here. They went out and broke his damn arm, man.
Wow.
I guess he'd been stealing their money and shit, and they found out about it. Couldn't have happened to a better guy. More upstanding citizen.
How did you wind up working in Japan?
Dory Funk Jr. and Terry Funk. I was working in Amarillo, and they sent us over. My first tour in Japan, Stan Hansen, Ox Baker, myself. Oh God, I can't remember all the guys that were on it. We had a great time. Yeah, it was wild.
What was it like to get adjusted to that style? Because it's a lot stiffer and.
No, see, you forget that. There's where you're all wrong. Amarillo, you worked that style every night. Japan was loose compared to Amarillo.
Really?
Oh yeah. I'll tell you a story about Ray Stevens.
Definitely.
When I went to San Francisco after I left Amarillo, the first night I was there, I worked with Ray Stevens. Ray Stevens went to Roy Shire and said, "Get rid of this sumbitch. He's hurting me." And Roy came up to me and said, "Do you know how to work, boy?" I said, "Well, yeah, why?" He said, "Well, goddamn, you're hurting my superstar." I said, "Hurting him?" He says, "Yeah, you're touching him." I said, "Man, see, there were territories where guys didn't want you to touch them. There were territories where, knock my block off."
Right.
Well, I'd worked that rural with Dory and Terry Funk. You didn't hit them, they weren't going to sell it. And if they didn't hit me, I wasn't going to sell it. Well, in San Francisco, they just wanted you thinking you were going to hit Patterson. So I told Patterson, I said, hell, I can work that style if you want to, but I said, I don't think it's any good. So that's what I did. I worked his style.
What was Japan like for you? Did you like it over there?
Oh, I loved it, man. Yeah, that's where I got me and Stan Hansen come back with the Lariat and the Hangman from there.
Yep.
1976. We come back with the Lariat and the Hangman. I called it the Hangman and he called it the Lariat. And we were, truth be known, we were the first ones ever to use it in the United States. Stan and I were.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.